Hello guys, welcome back to my channel for another video. This is Lazy Admin with you, and today we are going to talk about how to install Linux operating system over a virtual machine in VMware Workstation. Literally in this video, the same procedure can be applied for any other operating Linux based operating system, uh, CentOS, Red Hat, uh, Oracle Linux, Ubuntu, Fedora, any operating system you want to install Linux based, it follows the same procedure nowadays. So for the sake of this video, we are going to use CentOS 8 because it's open source and it's free. So let's first download the ISO for this. Let me take you to the website from where we can download the ISO for this. Here we are on Google, and we will hit CentOS distribution and hit enter. And first thing, it will take us to the CentOS project that is open source. I've already told you. We'll click CentOS project and we'll click download the CentOS. So here you go, you have CentOS Linux DVD ISO. I will click here, and you can see CentOS has made available their latest version of OS, that is 8.1. So you can just click here and download this OS for yourself. So we'll click this and download, and in the meantime it is downloading. I will pause the video, and once it is done, then we'll head back to the VMware workstation to install it. So guys, the download has been complete successfully. So we are now going to create a new virtual machine from this ISO. One thing I will tell you for the sake of this video, I am using VMware Workstation 15.5 professional version. You can literally use anything from Hyper-V to VirtualBox, any client, virtualization client you want to use, you can use. The thing is, it works the same way. So let's get creating a new virtual machine. File, new virtual machine, and we will select custom. We can select typical. Here I will tell you there is a bug in this version of workstation. If you select custom and select next, I will use all the latest options. If I select installer disk image and give it CentOS 8 ISO, it will automatically detect it as a version 5. And if you select next and start creating your VM, at the end when you boot your VM, it will not load the setup files. It will fail in between, and you have to redo all the work over and over again. So the thing is, you will click this option. I will install the operating system later, and later on provide the ISO. This way it will work. You can try with this installer disk image. If you fail, do let me know in the comments section. So we'll hit next. It's a Linux distribution, and we will select CentOS 7 since 8 is backward compatible. So we'll select 7 because the time when this VMware Workstation 15.5 was launched, CentOS version 8 was not available. So let's hit next. We'll give it a name, VMO1, and I don't have enough space in C drive, so I will use some other drive. So I will select a target in F and virtual machines, and here I will create a new folder VM01 and select that. Hit next. Number of processors. Here you have to be very careful that what is your processor that you have in your physical machine. It is capable to provide more CPUs, or one CPU is more than enough. So based on the configuration of your CPU, it's Core i7, Core i5, or Core i3, or AMD. So you have to be a little bit cautious about assigning. You should not assign more here, since the number is available. For sake of selecting, you select 16. So obviously VMware also tells you that this is not possible, but be very careful when you are doing that. So for sake of this VM, I will keep it 114 and select next. Similar thing goes for the memory. You don't want to provision too much memory or too less memory. So it normally VMware gives you recommended, and maximum memory that you can allocate. The maximum memory it can allocate is 32 gigs because my laptop has 32 gigs available. So how you know how much memory you can assign right now? You can hit right click on taskbar and go to task manager, and here you will have performance. In the performance you can see memory tab. I have 32 gigs in my laptop, so I can assign amount like 10 gigs of RAM easily. It will not cause slowness on my OS behind. So let's hit 4 gigs and select next. So network type, I will use bridge networking. It it will take the same configuration from my physical NIC and take the same IP, an IP from the same network as my physical network interface card is doing. So bridge networking is works that way. If you use NAT, NAT will start natting. It's a network address translation. Probably the network engineers would know how it works. So it will NAT into a different IP and sends the traffic to the network adapter. Uh, you can use host only networking. That is, if you don't want to give access, if you don't want this VM to access the outside world, then you can use host only networking. So for right now, we'll use bridge networking. Next, LSI logic, we will use the same thing. SCSI, we use the same thing. We have the disk SCSI. Create a new virtual disk. If yes, we will create a new virtual disk. If you already have one, you can select this option and select that virtual disk. If you have a physical disk you want to use, you can use a physical disk. Since we are creating a virtual machine, and virtual disks are easily expandable, they are really flexible, and we can move them around in runtime. So I will create a virtual disk, and I do prefer virtual disks over physical disks. So this is the lab environment, so 20 gigs is more than enough. We assign it 20 gigs, and uh, if you select allocates this disk space now, it actually does what? I will show you here in what you call it, paint. So let's say if I select that option, and this is my total hard drive, and this hard drive is let's say 500 GB. So I selected that option. So 20 GB. So it will take about 20 GB out from this hard drive and allocate it immediately to my virtual machine. So out of 500 GB, now I'm left with 480 GB probably. So if I select a bigger chunk, then it will take a bigger and right away allocate it to the virtual machine. So if I uncheck this option, now this is thin provisioning. Before it was thick provision, now it will become a thin provision. Now what will happen in this case? I still allocate 20 GB, but I am not using all of this space. I am not using all of this disk space. Uh, this disk space will start filling in once I will start writing in. Means it will not go and create this 20 GB chunk and allocate right now. It will just margin it, but it will not allocate it right away. As soon as I start writing, it will start filling up. And the limit I can go on is 20 gigs. I can expand it more also. The only thing to be considered in here that while doing thin provisioning, people tend to over provision. Let's say they create more VMs and create more virtual disks. So they create like chunks of these disks here, 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 and if in case these disks get full, you will do what will happen is your physical disk will end finish, and in terms you will lose all the virtual machines will stop and they cannot run anymore. So you have to be a little careful when we are provisioning in the thin provision. For the sake of this lab, it's okay, we can go with this one. So here is store the virtual disk as a single file or store it as a multiple files. Single files, if it is a small disk, you can create single file. If it's a larger disk, you can split it into multiple files because it will be easy to move around from one computer to another. So we'll hit next. Name of the virtual disk, VMDK is typically VMware format, virtual disk. VMware Virtual Disk. Okay, this is the summary and we hit finish. And here our VM is already created. So now we'll click edit settings. You can still customize the parameters more if you want. We'll hit CD DVD and we will provide the ISO image that we downloaded in previous section. So we'll go our was CentOS 8, we selected it and we hit press OK. Now we can power on, and once we power on, it will load the setup of CentOS. We'll hit enter. So the setup is now starting for CentOS. It started verifying the ISO. I don't want to verify, it will take a lot of time, but in production environment, people do verify, because in during the installation, probably some corruption will happen, you will face some consequences. I do trust my download, so I'm not going to verify this, folks. So here it is, it's starting the setup. All right. Alrighty, you can see the mouse in here. Yes, we will continue with English. Okay, this is all the options that we have to configure before installing a CentOS distribution. Keyboard US, language English, time date, whichever region you are in, you can select the time date according to that region. Installation media is local because we have provided with ISO. Server is with GUI. Here you can select GUI or minimal install or a workstation, whichever you want to do. If you want to make a virtualization host, you want to run a KVM and run VM over this installation. So we can select server with GUI. I prefer, basically, if you ask me, I prefer minimal install, but actually I don't keep it minimal. I keep minimal install and then install some group packages for GUI. If you select server with GUI, the only bad thing is it will install 100 or 300 more add-ons with it that you will not even use. It will install around 1300 packages on your distribution and use a lot of disk space, and it will not load a lot faster. But if you see minimal, it will load much faster, and because it has, and it will be much more secure than the full server with GUI, because there are less ports that are being opened. So I settle somewhere in between minimal and with GUI. So once you, let's, for the sake of this video, we are going with server with GUI. And if you want to pre-install something, some service, that you can check from here. Let's say if you want to keep this server as FTP server, you can just check here FTP server and it will install FTP server. If you don't select, don't worry, you can still install them while you are inside the operating system. So we will hit done. The important thing here is destination installation disk. So this is the 20 gigs disk that we have created in VMware Virtual Disk, of course. If we keep it automatic and select done, it will keep an automatic partition. If you are an advanced user and you want to customize how your directory structure may look or work, you can custom it and select done. And now you can actually create all the disks, all the directory structure, actually, not the disks, the directory structures. So go ahead if you want to do that. If you are an advanced user, one more thing, you can click here automatically and it will create some partitions for you, which are necessary to run this virtual machine. So if you see here, it has created a boot partition, necessary. It has created a root partition, really necessary, but it has allocated everything to the root partition. So what happen is, if the root partition, the home for user will also be in here. If the root partition gets full, your OS cannot boot. So the advanced users, they keep the home separate than the root. So for the sake of this video, we will keep partitioning to be automatic. So I'll keep it automatic and select done. Okay, we are not kdump. Kdump is kernel dump. In case your system fails, shuts down due to some kernel bug or something, it will create a dump of entire session, and you can view it later to figure out what has gone wrong over it. So for the sake of this video, we're not keeping the dump. We're not enabling the dump, and bear in mind that it would use some amount of RAM from the allocated RAM of yours. Network, we will obviously name the network. So first we will set the host name, vm01.lazyadmin.com, whichever way you want it. So the host name is changed. We will configure the, I'm a little old fashioned, I want to keep it like this. That's 0 because it makes sense to me. That's 0. Device name, save, and we can hit, it will connect, and press done. So as you can see, this is all the configuration that we have to do, and we have to begin installation. Security policy, I didn't have any security policy, so I didn't selected that option. So we have to set a root password. For sake of the video, I keep passwords as password. Since it's dictionary, you have to select it twice. So we'll create a user. User is user01. Make it an administrator. It will automatically become the group member for wheel group. So we'll keep password as password. And you can see advanced. The home, as I've discussed in the previous section, the home/home, where the user home will be /home/user01. So you can specify the ID manually or let it be automatically. And as you can see, it is the member of group wheel. Save changes, done. So user is also, we will do it twice. User is also created and root password is also done. The thing is, folks, in case I run into any trouble, I will not skip past it. I will record it and I will give you the solution right away in the recording. I don't care how long this video is going to be. I want people to actually not stray away from one video to another video to actually solve the issue they are having in the installation process. So what exactly we are looking here on this channel is, in case you run into any trouble, do mention in the comment section. I will try to recreate it, and I will try it. If it really works it, I will create a video about it. So go ahead, uh, do comment if you have any issues, you run into any trouble. So right now I will pause the video because it's going to take a lot of time, because see, it has 1304 packages to install. That is enough packaging. So I will pause the video until it's completely over. While the installation is running in behind, let me show you what I told you about, that I settle somewhere in between minimalistic and server with GUI. So I would rather not install the full server with GUI. I will install the minimal version and then do some group install of certain packages. So if you see, we have a software called VNC Viewer. So basically what I will do, I will download one VNC Viewer so that I can connect to the uh, just like you do RDP on Microsoft systems, we can do a VNC viewer. We can connect remote to the Linux machines. So basically, you have to download a VNC viewer. You can download it for any distribution like iOS, Raspberry Pi, Linux, any distribution you want. So this is how we do. I have already downloaded and installed VNC viewer. So folks, our installation has completed. As you can see, it's generating some init. So once it is complete, it will reboot. As you can see now it is completed, so we can reboot it now. And that's it. Finish. We are done. The installation is completed. See, you can see here. It's, now it will load the CentOS 8 operating system. Please find out what changes the CentOS 8 has brought. Do let me know as well. License, we have to accept the license, licensing terms, and hit finish configuration. And that's it. Here it goes. So log in as a user. By default, it doesn't give us an option to log in through root. And as you can see here, so my CentOS